get my phone, I'm in the car, and we just sitting there. The manager calls me, and they say, yo, they're coming back, and they say they got a gun, blah, blah. They waving a gun out the window, they're coming back.
When I leave the house, Gucci that belt, don't leave it out. I got standards, diamond near Flanders, Kool-Aid jammer, cookie pack on camera, yeah. I got standards, diamond near.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Just Josh, and we bite with another video. So I've been wanting to tell stories on my YouTube for a while now. I tell a lot of stories on TikTok, but they're short, they're 1 minute. YouTube, I get a lot more time to tell the story, so you get the full story. And I got a bunch of stories to tell. What I want to do on my channel is have animations. I don't know if you guys know who Swoozy is, but I look at a lot of his videos. He does a lot of story times. I have a lot of story times. I want to start doing those. So I want to do like animations of my story times and just voiceovers and me talking and little clips of me in there. But for this story, I feel like it's a more serious story, so I should be here in person and tell the whole thing. This isn't the first story that I wanted to tell. It's something that happened more recently in my life. And I just feel like where we are right now in society, it was the right time to tell this story. So I've been thinking about it for a while because I wanted to make sure my mind was in the right place. I didn't want to say things that didn't pertain to everybody or that could offend certain people. I wanted to make sure I gave you the most accurate story I could give. No biases, no judgments, anything. I've been talking to people from when it happened, where it happened, and I asked them about it to make sure everybody's story was lined up, and I feel like I have it to the point where I can give you the most reliable story. So people need to hear this story because a lot of people feel like these things don't happen or these things won't happen to them, and I wouldn't say I was one of those people that thought these things didn't happen or wouldn't happen to them, but you just never expect for it to happen. You're never prepared for moments like this, and it happens out of nowhere. So the story happened in Dallas. When I was in Dallas a couple weeks ago with my friends, we were all chilling and we played basketball. All of us play basketball. We're pretty competitive, even though I'm the best one, of course. But we all like to play basketball. And because of coronavirus, we couldn't play in LA Fitness where we usually play. So we had to go to these outdoor courts. We went to one outdoor court for 2 days, and for some reason my friends didn't want to go there anymore. I guess the court wasn't that good or whatever. It was whatever to me, you know. If you a hooper, you a hooper, you know what I'm saying? But not even like that. The court wasn't that bad. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just, I don't know, the competition wasn't that good out there, I guess, which is why they wanted to go to a different court. But I was in Dallas to meet up with the manager, and I met up with the manager and we were talking about hooping. That's how it all started. So we felt like a good way for us to come closer, you know what I'm saying, get a better feel of each other was to all hoop together and just, you know, chop it up. So the day came and my friend wanted to go to a different court. And this court we were at was in a more suburban part of town. It was predominantly white. There weren't many black. I mean, there were a lot of black people at the courts, but black people didn't live in the area. People just came out from all over, I guess. I'm not really familiar with it, but that's what my friends told me, that there weren't many black people in the area. It was mostly white people. So that's what we expected to be at the courts when we went there. So we went to the court and there was a bunch of black people out there. It was mostly black people, but there was a good bit of white people out there too. And so I was like, I thought you said it was gonna be a lot of white people out here. They was like, I thought there was too. So we pull up to the courts, get out, waiting on the game to play. I walk up to some dudes. We start talking because we need want people to be on our team. So I went up to the dudes and we were just talking and they were like, yo, we'll pick you up. We got next. There's 2 of us. We can get a 5 going. So I'm like, okay, bet, whatever. Anyway, the game started taking too long, so we went to a different court and we're like, do you want to come run with us on this court? They said, no, we'll just stay over here. The competition's better over here. The court we were going to, it wasn't as good. It was really trash competition, but it's like 2 courts side by side is how it's set up. So we were just on this side, they were on that side. So I get my friends, the manager pulls up. He wants to play on the better side. He has his 5, and I'm over here. So I'm with my friends. We in the game. We playing. And all of a sudden, I look up and I see people arguing. So I call my friend. I'm like, hey, do you see that over there? And he's like, yeah, I don't know what they doing, but it's whatever. Get back to the game. So they playing the game, and the people we playing weren't really that good. So I wasn't really focused on the game like that. I'm like, it's whatever. We can, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to be there for us to win. That's how trash they were, honestly. But I'm just sitting and I'm watching, and there's two white dudes, and there's a girl and her sister, and then there's two dudes. The girl and her sister and two dudes were black, and then there was two white dudes, and they were arguing like at each other. So I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm asking around, I'm like, yo, you know what's going on? You know what's going on? They're like, no, but everybody's watching what's going on. So some more black people run up over there, and I'm like, oh, everybody running over there, I might as well run over there. And when I'm on the way over there, they start throwing punches. The white dude get punched, another white dude get punched. They get slammed to the ground. They shirts getting ripped open, all this, and people stomping them out. So I'm like, what's going on? And they said the white dude went up to the girls. The girls are mixed, and he started saying, "All lives matter." And so I'm like, y'all beat him up because he said all lives matter. And I'm not a person who supports all lives matter. Of course, all lives have intrinsic value. That's not what that movement is about. That movement is to counteract Black Lives Matter, which is why I don't support it. I think all people matter, which is why I support Black Lives Matter, because Black lives haven't mattered in a while, but that's not what I'm here to debate. So they said, the white dudes went up to them and said all lives matter. So they started getting an argument. They're like, Black Lives Matter, why would you say that? Why would you come to a court that has a majority of black people and start saying something like that out of nowhere? We're all playing basketball. There's no reason for you to say that. So that's what they were arguing about. And they were getting in their face, and they were just having a heated argument. And then the white dude says, that's why your father sold you, because the girls were mixed. So I'm guessing he assumed that her father was white and the mother was black. So he said, that's why your father sold you, saying that if we would have been in slavery times, his father would have sold her because she was a mixed baby, whatever, all that. So that's why the dude started throwing the punches. The girls started throwing punches. At first, the dudes didn't do anything. The girls threw punches. And then the white dudes pushed the girl or tried to swing on her or something. And that's when the black dude stepped in and everybody started jumping them. So I'm sitting back and we all looking, and the white dudes get up and his shirt torn. The white dudes, one of them is my age. So he's old enough to where he knows what he can say, what he can't say. And the other dude is his brother. His brother is like 15, I guess. So he's not as mature, probably plays around a lot. But they stomped him out. They beat him up to the point where he was ready to go. He was the more mature one in after the fact, because he was ready to go. They were like, y'all need to go. It's not, we don't want to play with you. If we play, we already know things gonna get rough. We don't want y'all on our team. Y'all need to go, because it's just not, that's not what this area is. There was even white dudes that was playing with us. My friend was white and he was saying, yeah, y'all need to go. That's not what we're not gonna support you if that's what you think, because we're on the side of the black people. We're on the side of what's right. It's not even a black versus white thing. It's a wrong versus right thing. We're on the side of what's right. So we're not gonna help you out. You guys need to go. So they're like, no, we're not going anywhere. It's a free court. We're not going anywhere. We're staying right here. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting back to hooping. It's not really much more for me to see at this point. So the dude's shirt is torn, ripped. He's walking around. He calls his brother. He says, hey, brother, let's go. They start walking, and they walk around to our side of the court, and they stand there. And so a huge group of black people just gathers around them. And it's to the point where they're on our court, so we can't finish our game. So the black people are just sitting there. I'm sitting in the back looking. I'm finna go over to the other court and play. The manager's like, yo, we got a spot if you're trying to run with us. So I'm like, I'm fine. I look, you wanted to run, but at the same time, I did wanted to see what was gonna go down. So they're sitting there telling them like, y'all need to go. They're like, no, we're not going nowhere. Y'all gonna have to make us leave. And I'm sitting back like, if it's me, I'm leaving. I'm not finna stay. If I put myself in their shoes and I just said something that offends, it offends mostly black people, but everybody there is offended because we're a community. We're not divided. You know what I'm saying? If it hurts you, then it hurts me. That's where we're at. So if I just said something that offends everybody in that community and they want me to go, I'm not gonna stick around for what? You know that at that point they weren't even playing any games. They were just sitting watching. So what are you still there for? If you want to watch basketball, I get it, but they weren't there to watch basketball. They were just there to antagonize and instigate and start something completely else. Just wanted to get their point across, I guess. So they were just standing there and they're like, we're not going anywhere. So we're like, okay, man, whatever. We start, everybody disperses, the crowd disperses, and they're still just walking around the courts or whatever, watching the games. We're playing, and people is yelling at them from the other side of the court, and they yelling back, whatever. We still playing. Anyways, the lights go off on the court, and we're all sitting around talking like, what's the moves? Where y'all finna go now? What you finna? So out of nowhere, the white dudes pull up, and they try to get in our circle and just instigate. Like I said, they said, do you love America? Which is, we're out here hooping. What is the point of you asking that question? You're trying to get a point across for no reason. Nobody's here to argue with you. We don't want to, at that point, they don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to say we, because, I mean, it's whatever. I've dealt with more stupid people. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give into their energy. I'm not there. So they're asking people, they asked me, they said, do you love America? So I look away and I continue my conversation because I'm not even finna acknowledge that with a response. So they asked another girl, they said, do you love America? And she's like, yeah, I love America, blah, 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 blah. And they said, okay then, so they were trying to say they basically were trying to trap you into saying you either loved America or you didn't. And if you loved America, then you were okay with how they were treating black people and how they were treating people of color, minorities. Basically, you were okay with everything. Like, it couldn't be that bad if you loved America. And if you said you didn't love America, then why are you in America? It's what they were trying to get across. I don't know what point they were trying to make with that, but that's what they were trying to get across. That's what they were trying to insinuate. So the girl says, yeah, I love America, blah, blah, blah. The people I was with were like, dude, y'all need to go. Why are you still here trying to argue and make a point? There's no point to be made. We're not trying to hear that. It's the wrong time for all this. People are dying out in the streets. People are rioting, and you want to come over here to a majority black group and try to pick a fight, pick an argument. It's not, we don't want that. I know you expect black people to be aggressive and violent, but I'm sure you can see that we're not, and you want us to be so bad, but we're not. And this is the part of the story I left out. I forgot to put in there. But when that big crowd was around, they were saying, yo, we got a gun in the car. If y'all try to jump us, we're going to shoot. Texas has stand your ground laws, which is if somebody violates your personal space, I guess, or tries to attack you, I'll put the definition up on the screen. But they have stand your ground laws. So you're able to use a gun and kill somebody. Stand your ground laws is the same thing they had in Florida when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, because George Zimmerman felt threatened by Trayvon Martin. That was his reasoning for killing him, a teenager. So that's what he used to kill him. He used stand your ground laws, and he was found innocent under the law. So that's how he got away with it. And Texas has the same thing. So if one of us would have started the altercation and punched the kids for no reason or something like that, just because they were talking, they could have went in the car, grabbed a gun, and shot somebody, did whatever, and they probably would have got away with it. There wouldn't have been no punishments. There would have been no repercussions for them under the law, because stand your ground protects them. So I'm pretty sure that's what they wanted, which is why I personally wasn't giving them the time of day. I was telling my friends not to, because on the slight chance that they did have a gun, they could go out there and shoot whoever they wanted, and they could say that it was stand your ground. They were trying to protect themselves. So they were saying, we got a gun in the car. And so they were just telling everybody, like, yo, they got a gun. There's no point in messing with them. Just don't do it. So our group was talking to black group, and they were asking people, do they love America, whatever. And they walk away because everybody's like, yo, why y'all still trying to talk to us? We don't want to talk to you. What is in it for you to try to come over here and start something with us? So the dudes walk away, get in their car, and we're sitting there talking about a curb. The dudes get in their car, pull around to us, and the younger guy's in the passenger seat. He rolls down the window. He's like, build a wall, build a wall. And I'm sitting there like, we're black. I'm not sure why you're chanting it at us. I guess you're trying to say like it's a Trump slogan, so we're supposed to be offended by that. It was just stupid of them to say that because it doesn't have anything to do with us. If you would have said Trump 2020, I could see. But even then, if you're a Trump supporter and you say Trump 2020 to offend a group of black people, you understand that black people and Trump don't mix. Black people shouldn't be voting for Trump. But Trump supporters love to say that he is all inclusive, and Trump loves to say that he loves black people and all this and all that. But coming from a Trump supporter himself, if he's using the idea of Trump and the slogans of Trump to offend black people, then obviously you can see that even Trump supporters understand that the whole campaign is anti-black. So he's saying Trump 2020, build a wall, and I'm sitting there like, it's just ignorant for you to say that. I'm not even gonna say nothing. But the girl that he got an argument before was there, and she's like, yo, you need to go on with that dumb stuff. What is you doing? She picks up a stick that has nails in it, and she threw it and hit his car. When she threw it and hit his car, he puts the car in drive and tries to run them over. And we just all move out the way. I'm like, what? Like, you finna run somebody over? What are you doing? So he backs the car up. I get in the car with the manager because he's like, yo, come on. We're not finna be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? You got an image to protect. We're looking out for you. We're here for you. If something happens to you, we couldn't even forgive ourselves because we told your parents that we had you. So they're just looking out for me. So they're like, yo, get in the car, come on. So I walk around and get in the car, and my friend is still standing over there. They back up the car, put the car in drive, try to run him over again. They don't hit anybody. The manager backs up, drives away, and the two white guys drive away also. I rode with my friend to a court, so my phone and everything is in his bag. I wish I would have recorded it. I wish so bad that I would have been recording that, because not, for one, it could have went viral. I could have been viral off that. But for two, it just would have been nice to have the evidence. People could see what actually happened. They could see like this story is real. But if you question the story, it doesn't really matter to me. You have no reason to question the story. And if you do question it, I don't care. But just to have that, to say like I went through that, that's something that happens, to show people that actually happens, and it happened to me out of all people. So my friend's car has my bag, my clothes, my phone, everything in it, and it's locked up and it's there. And I drove away with the manager, so I don't have anything. I don't have anything to tell him that I left my phone. I can't text him, I can't call him, anything, and I'm staying with them. So we have to come back and go around and get my phone and stuff like that. So we're sitting there, we wait a little bit to make sure everything's cleared up. We drive back, and I tell my friend, like, yo, my phone in your car, let's go. What are you still standing here for? Like, if they do got a gun and they come back and try to shoot somebody, what are you standing here for? There's no point in us being here. So he's like, okay, come on. I get my phone, I'm in the car, and we just sitting there. And the manager calls me, and they say, yo, they're coming back, and they say they got a gun, blah, blah. They waving a gun out the window, they're coming back. So I tell my friend, he backs up the car, drives around, and goes the opposite direction. They're coming in like this, and we go around this way, so we don't see them. But we were in the parking lot, and we heard what sounded like gunshots. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, my adrenaline was pumping. Maybe I was just in the moment. It could have been anything. It could have been just a loud noise, a loud slam, but it sounded like gunshots. I'm familiar with gunshots, so it sounded like gunshots. I don't have any recollection of anybody that got hurt that day. I don't think anybody got shot. I don't think anybody got injured, but I did hear gunshots. So we were at the stop sign. We heard gunshots. We pull off, and we're driving away, and you can't really see the court from where we're driving away to. So you can just hope that nobody got hurt. But I don't think anybody got hurt. There was nothing on the news or anything like that. We didn't hear anything. So we don't think anybody got hurt. But it's just crazy to think that something like that could still happen. It's not crazy because obviously it happens, but the fact that it's 2020 and people still have these notions and these ideas, and they want everybody to conform to their beliefs, is just crazy. And people will really try to instigate something just to harm somebody else. I just think about the fact that when that girl threw that stick, they could have just pulled out a gun and started shooting anybody. It didn't really matter. I could have been shot. So I thank God that that no harm came to me, but it's just crazy the times right now. I just wanted to get that message out there to let people know, like, yes, this does happen. It happens to anybody. It can happen to anybody. It happened to me, and I'm nobody, but at the same time, I just wouldn't expect. A lot of people know me. I wouldn't expect it to happen to me, but it did. It happened to me, so it can happen to anybody. I just want people out there to know to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Watch your surroundings. Watch the people you hang with. Situations like that, it's just best to leave the scene. I know everybody wants to stick around and see what happens, see the aftermath, but it's not worth your life at all. If y'all like this story, I got a bunch more to tell. I'm gonna try to get animations. I'm gonna try to find somebody who does animations, because I don't really draw anything like that. I'm in college, so I don't have a lot of time to draw, but if I figure out how to do it, I'll try to do some. They won't be as frequent though, but if I can find somebody to draw, if you do animations, hit me up. I want to do a lot more stories. I want to tell a lot more stories. If you mess with this story, hit the like button, hit the comment, hit the share to your friends to let people know, raise awareness about it. But yeah, man, subscribe to my channel. Just Josh, we out.
You only got one shot. You only got one shot. One shot, one kill.